Private Members Business, Order of the Day number 1, resumption of debate on the motion moved by the member for Goldstein in relation to small and family businesses.
And the question is that the motion be agreed to. I call the member for Grey.
Speaker, the small and family businesses of Australia are quite literally under siege. We must start by looking at the harsh economic reality that this Labor Greens government has engineered. Headline inflation hit 3.8% in January. But domestic inflation, the pain generated right here at home, is running even hotter at 4.9%. Make no mistake, this is not just a cost of living crisis. This is a cost of government crisis, a cost of doing business crisis, with inflation higher here than any other major economy. Government spending is now at its highest levels outside of a recession in 40 years. And Labor's debt is racing towards a staggering $1 trillion. Every single minute, Australians are paying, the Australian government is paying around $50,000 just to service this debt. And if you're in South Australia, where I'm from, we're only second to Victoria. With both big Labor spending governments, if you live in South Australia and you combine the state Labor government debt and the federal Labor government debt, it has now reached over $100,000 per worker, and rising, Speaker. Governments don't pay down your debt. Taxpayers do. Your children do, and your grandchildren will. And now this is money that is adding demand to the economy and keeping relentless pressure on prices. After nearly 4 years of Labor, the numbers are terrifying. Insurance is up 39%, rent is up 22%, and food is up 16%. But perhaps the most devastating blow to our small and family business is energy. Labor has spent years papering over the crisis they unleashed on our energy system. Now that temporary rebates have expired, the truth is laid bare. Electricity prices have surged 37% in this past year alone. And Speaker, last week I had the privilege to be out at Simek Mine, south of Whyalla. That's the hematite and magnetite mine that feeds Whyalla and the export port. Now they have a 50 megawatt line servicing that mine. And only a few weeks ago, the price in South Australia, the wholesale price, which our Energy Minister likes to talk about all the time, reached over $20,000 a megawatt hour. That is $1 million an hour just to run that business. And so they employ people to monitor the weather patterns, because, of course, in South Australia, we're at 82% renewables, and the price fluctuates so much. Prices go from negative 200 to, in this case, plus $20,000. This is the reality of Labor's energy systems. And Speaker, for the shops, the cafes, the local workforce and the family enterprise, these power bills are a death knell. Insolvencies have exploded since this government took office. Confidence is crushed. Yet instead of throwing a lifeline, what does this government do? It reaches for the handcuffs. Speaker, that is exactly what this government is doing to small and family business. They are slapping handcuffs on our economic backbone. For their draconian industrial relations changes, they have replaced flexibility and fairness with confusion and compliance. Our small and family businesses are being forced to work longer hours for less and bogged down by ever-increasing layers upon layers of red tape. And nowhere is this red tape felt more tightly than our regional family businesses. There needs to be support for growers through transition. Sorry, Speaker, I just missed a paragraph there. In the broadacre cropping industry, the final regulatory decision from the APVMA on paraquat and diaquat will be handed down in mid-2026. But there's no plan to assist farmers with this transition. If not a viable and affordable replacement is available at scale, the impact on farmers will be significant. There needs to be support for growers through the transition away from these chemicals, including support for the inevitable increased costs, yield reductions and additional labour requirements. Not only are farmers competing against government-subsidised sectors overseas and fighting the elements, but they're also now fighting against their own government, just to stay viable. The sheer volume of compliance and regulation is punishing the very entrepreneurship we need to feed this country and grow agricultural exports. Small and family business is also suffering from a lack of common sense support in the way of critical infrastructure. On the Eyre Peninsula, where our home, to the Southern Hemisphere's largest fishing fleet and some of Australia's most fertile land, yet business owners still cannot access accurate weather forecasts via Doppler radar. Speaker, that is why I'm established a petition and everyone should sign and get Doppler radar on the EP.